Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson here. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. We're coming to you from the very unsunny and cold San Diego, sadly. I was just talking about this with my co-pilot, the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel. What's up today? I hear it's less than stellar up in the Bay Area, too.
It is less than California perfect, my friend. I'm afraid we were going to get washed away last night, even though I live on the fourth story in a condo building. And if I get washed away, we are totally foobarred. But no, we came out of it, and we are safe, sound, and somewhat dry. But loving the rain. I am a boater. I don't know if you know that. I have a 23-foot Malibu ski boat,
Wow.
and that is my sanctuary. Do not mess with me in my boat. But now that, thank God, that Mother Earth is giving us rain back, we're going to be able to go float around, and maybe I'll invite you up to come out and hang out, Matt. I don't know. I haven't figured out if I like you yet.
That's right. So after a year, I've discovered two things I did not know about Greg. Apparently, he's a big boater, and you lived in Michigan at some point in the distant mists of the past. So you never know.
No, well, kind of, yeah.
All right, anyway. So we're talking about a way to break into a new market for zero cost. We're using Instagram and Twitter. So we've got a special guest with us. I'll let Greg introduce him. Before we get to that, if you're watching the replay here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And then if you want the audio version just nestled right here in your ears, go to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe there. And so we just want to give a couple of shout-outs real quick, and then we want to answer a quick question. But first, why don't we do, Greg, why don't you introduce our special guest, then we'll get to our first question. That way, if he wants to chime in, he certainly can.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Rod. Rod is just a rock star agent in Southern California. He and I were introduced by a mutual friend. We'd gotten on a couple of blabs together, and we're actually doing a blab after this show at 4:30. So if you're watching the replay at 5:30, it's not going to do you any good. But if you're watching the live version, it might do you some good. We're going to continue the conversation that we're having now about how to break into a market or take over a market at zero to no cost using high tech. Not a whole lot of high touch involved here, but we're going to talk about how to use Instagram and Twitter. And thanks to Rod, I have actually picked up my phone and started doing pictures on Instagram. We'll see. I know.
Perish the thought.
The crazy.
Hang on, let me clutch my pearls.
Smart ass. But yeah, so Rod, welcome, buddy. We are ecstatic to have you here.
Appreciate you guys having me. Happy to be here.
Cool. Hey, Rod, what's a little bit about your background? How long have you been in real estate? Where are you with, and what do you specialize in?
Yeah, well, my background is I started out in real estate in 2008, and started out in distressed sales, short sales, REOs, and then from there I worked my way into luxury. What really started me in luxury is before I even got into real estate, I was selling automobiles, Lexus, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Porsche. And so from there, I saw the opportunity with the distressed market, jumped in, worked my way up. And then when I was here in Southern California, I saw the opportunity with the pace of the luxury sales and just started preparing and educating myself. So my background started out selling cars and sales and moving and working my way up into real estate.
Very cool. So you're working with the same clientele, so you know kind of the type of people that you're dealing with.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
And I'm with Pacific Sotheby's International Realty here in San Diego.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, we'll give people at the end. We'll give people a way to connect with you. That way, they can stay connected and send referrals or just get connected with you. So, what do you say we answer a question from the lead gen scripts and objections forum real quick before we get into our main content, Greg?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's answer some questions, change some lives.
Okay. So if anyone's not familiar, it's the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections group. It's started by our friend Aaron Wittenstein. Both Greg and I are members. They're about 15,000 and growing, if it's not 16,000 already. So it's facebook.com/group/gotobjections. So make sure to join the group there. Jonathan Isaac Anderson asks, any tricks for finding phone numbers for expireds without paying for services? I find myself scouring the internet for them more than calling. And Greg and I were chuckling about this before.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, this is what I'd say to you. Go get the white pages. It's free. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but at least it's free. Realistically speaking, if you haven't had the opportunity to go to Mojo and pay the $150 for 6 months of access to extracting their numbers and the $139 a month for the triple line dialer, please listen to me if you ever watch this video. This will change your business. You're not going to hunt and peck anymore. You're going to be able to do up to 125 phone calls an hour. and you're going to be able to leave messages and keep moving. It's going to build your business incredibly quickly. Give you an example. Yesterday I did about 600 phone calls. I found 3 sellers and 2 buyers, and sorry, 4 sellers, 2 buyers. From doing the calls from that data. So
Wow.
it's no joke. You just got to be persistent and consistent on it. So, I mean, Rod, what would you tell them? Have you found anything that's other that's free?
Yeah, well, I haven't, you told me about Triple Line Dollar, and I'm actually going to work in this year and add that to our model. But for me, one of the things I would do, since, for someone in particular that doesn't have funds or the money, is try searching through LinkedIn. One of the things I would take is whenever I find a property that was expired, a specific property I wanted to target, I would go and look up the owner, and then I would see if they actually have a LinkedIn profile. If they had a LinkedIn profile, typically people will list their business information and their phone numbers, their email address, and that was the way I would actually go through and find someone. Now, of course, you talk about 600 homes, that's different, but for me, on average, I wake up in the mornings, I call expireds, and then I also will look them up this way. And then one of the unique things about looking them up this way, not only is it free, but you may be connected to someone they know.
Yep.
Okay, and then that person can actually refer you. And actually, that happened for me last year in 2015. A young lady that I used to date back when I was in college was actually connected with a seller on a $2.1 million property that I actually sold a property down the street from. So when I looked him up and saw that she was connected, before I would just call him cold call as expired, I reached out to her and say, "Do you know him? I see you two are connected." She's like, "Oh yeah, we're really close friends. They're selling their house. I was just in their house, just there with them having dinner about 3 weeks ago." And I started laughing. I was like, perfect. So I was like, "Well, can you help me?" I said, "I just sold a property down the street. Do you mind, creating an introduction?" She's like, "Absolutely." So you just, that's just one example, and that's what I use, and it's free, and it doesn't cost a dime, just your time.
That's great. That is really good stuff right there. I hope everyone actually got what he just told you. Again, you blow my mind, man. Every time I talk to you, I'm learning something new about.
You got to work when you got to work with nothing. You can get real. When you have nothing to work with, you can get creative real fast. When I should say, when you don't have any money, you have to get creative real fast.
Yeah, you do, and that's the best part. That's when you grow the most. That's when most people are like, "Life sucks. Oh my God, I don't have all the money that John Doe over here with the Benz and the Ferrari and everything else selling $10 million homes is." But you know what? You're learning from the ground up, and you're going to find things that he'll never even look for and doesn't even know exists, and you'll be able to be a secret agent and a sniper and just clip him off one of these days because he's going to get lazy and the fat cat on the street.
Yeah, and that's what I found too. A lot of the bigger agents, especially in the luxury, they have their book of business. Everything's pretty much on autopilot. So I found this as an opportunity, rather than having to try and compete with them for the phone call, or mailer to mailer. I can go through in the mornings and just look up expires and see who they know that I'm connected with, because I've got over 500 plus connections in LinkedIn.
That's awesome, pure awesomeness. I haven't even thought about it. I have just about 1,300 right now. Mm-hmm. And there's a thing called Reportive.
Correct.
It's a system you add it in. It's free. Attaches to the right side of your Gmail accounts. And then anytime, like when Rod popped up in a Gmail or an email, I saw he was connected on LinkedIn. I just asked to add him right there, and it sends the request out. Super easy. If it's Facebook or anything else, any other attachments, you can add them into those networks as well. So, Reportive is a really cool free tech tool.
It's a Chrome extension.
Chrome extension, yes. Thank you.
Just looking at that again today. There's another good one called Profit. I was just checking out. That looks pretty interesting. I just added it and started playing around with it today.
I like Profit. Let's make some profit.
All right. Well, let's give a couple quick shout-outs, and then we'll get into the Twitter and Instagram strategy. What do you say?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's do it.
That's good.
Okay. So. Well, first of all, I'll go with the vendors first, and then Greg, you can give your personal shout out. So, number one, I just want to let everybody know I got a message from Jenny Williams, who was a guest towards the very end of last year, and just wanted to mention that she already has a couple of strategy calls and picked up a brand new coaching client from her appearance on this show. So just wanted to thank you guys for supporting her and reaching out to her and getting some of her free tools, which led to one of you guys actually hiring her to be your coach, which is awesome. She is phenomenal. So I just wanted to give that shout out real quick. And then for vendors, Viral Marketing, obviously. Just want to thank them for cutting a check to make podcasts and hangouts like these happen. You can check them out at getviral.com. And then Equity, which is a online buyer lead generation platform built from the ground up for solo agents. So the best way to check into that is to take the McDaniel Challenge and get a hold of Greg and see if it's available in your market, and then he can get you more information on that if it is available. So, Greg, what is the McDaniel Challenge?
It's when they get to be blessed with my voice in their ear for an hour to an hour and a half in the latter evening hours. Most people are going, this dude's a creep. But it's actually a lot of fun. Guys, I'm booked up through the rest of the week right now. I mean, it is Wednesday, so that's 2 more days. But I'm looking forward to some more people for next week. Do not make me spend, hashtag do not make Greg spend a night alone. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, I think it was hashtag don't let Greg spend a night alone. Yeah.
Don't let Greg spend a night alone. Yes.
Was that Tyrone that came up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just ripped that off. I was just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But what it is, guys, I want you to call me or text me on my cell phone, 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978 is my cell. Call me or text me. Let's book a time for me to spend an hour coaching with you from 6 to 7 Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. I just had so much fun on my last call, Matt. When we get to the shout-outs, I'll tell you about it. But it is so much fun to watch agents that are having a sticky issue that they can't get around, or maybe they're in a part of their career where they need a little bit of a boost and they need a little bit of a tech jump, or they need a little bit of a technique change or a script or something like that, or change their view on how valuable they truly are to their marketplace. Guys, I guarantee you, you give me a call, you will be getting off the call with valuable tips and tricks that you put into actual action right now. So call me, book the time, don't be lazy.
That's right. Well, go ahead and talk about your conversation with Lenny the other night, and I know we've got a couple of other shout-outs, and then
Lenny, you are a rock star, buddy. I see so many great things coming from you guys. He is born and raised in Long Beach. He's dialed in over there. What we did, the problem is there's no inventory. So I helped him understand how to identify and how to get a hold of the secret MLS and how to reach out to the people on the secret MLS that I've found. And I think that was going to be really, really powerful for him. And by the way, Lenny, thank you for inviting Matt and I down to do an in-office meeting with you. Matt and I are pumped to come down and hang out with you and your colleagues and spread the wealth of knowledge and hopefully make everybody else a little bit better so you guys can all make a lot more money. So that is, this is, sorry, see, Lenny, this is my copy. Remember all the tabs, everything I showed you, I was talking to you about, how this thing is quite literally highlighted and, bookmarked up the yin-yang. So go out and get this, read it, treat it like the Bible of real estate, because it is. Then, YouTube, Christian Homebuzz
Peter?
Inc., thanks for the kind shout-out on YouTube. We had loved having you on. Super fun. We look forward to having you back on and seeing your successes. And I'm going to work on getting you in my market because I want to be one of your success stories on that. And then David on YouTube, reaching out about the postcards. Man, thank you for the super kind words. I forwarded the message to Matt. We are so blessed to have you as a subscriber. So thank you. Tell a friend. Let's get some more people, and I'll get that postcard information over to you, and so you can start doing the coupons. But those are my shout outs, man. I got a great conversation coming up tonight. I get to talk with JP. He's out of Wyoming, where he admittedly says that everything's a little more backwards up there.
And cold.
and cold.
Ooh, it was 10 below when I drove through Wyoming last week. 10 below.
Wow.
Screw that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, hold on. We're talking about temperatures, right? So a couple weeks ago or a month or so ago, I was complaining because I was so cold in the morning, and Matt very sarcastically goes, "Well, what's going on, Greg? Was it a frigid 50 degrees?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then so Matt gets on the call today, and everyone, please look at his attire. He is buttoned up in a nice thermal coat. And I said, "Matt, what is it, a frigid 50 degrees?" He's like, "Actually, it's 56.
It's a cold rain.
It's a
cold rain.
Oh, right? Lord.
All right, Rod. So what do you say we get into it? Well, I'm excited to hear about how to use Twitter and Instagram to break into a new market for very little to no cost. So you want to say we get into it?
Let's go.
You guys need to, before we get going,
yes,
seriously, get a paper and a pen out. You are going to need it. I am not.
Turn on your voice recorder.
Yeah, anything.
That's
just start paying attention.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll. All right, Rod. So what's the basic? I guess how did you stumble across the strategy? And let's give people the basic outline.
Okay, with Instagram, because you want to start with Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right. So Instagram, I started out on Instagram about 3 years ago, 2012. And one of the things that kind of attracted me to it was that I saw that people were telling their stories there. So at the time, I was kind of in a position where I was transitioning, as I stated before, out of short sales, REOs, into like, how am I going to reinvent myself? I want to break into luxury, but I want people to also see who I am as a person. You know, I'm married with 3 kids, and I spend a lot of time at the beach in the summers. So I said, well, here's an opportunity for me to start showcasing, you know, in the areas where I live in the community, you know, who I am as a person. So I started looking into hashtags, inquired about that, and then I formulated a hashtag for myself called Rod Sales SD. And from there, I just started posting it. When I was out with my family, out different places in the neighborhood and community, I would post. And so the build-up phase, 3 years later to where we are now, is starting to pay off from all of the posts, all of the hashtags that I was tagging whenever I would post my photos. And then I started going further, and then not just taking photos of properties, I would actually take photos of the lifestyle of what it's like to live at the property or in the area where the property is located, and then just tell a small story there and then direct them back to a link. And link meaning I would place the link of where I wanted them to go in the bio link on my profile. So for an example, if you like to, you know, experience beautiful sunsets here in Ocean Beach, California, go to blank, blank, blank. And then they would go to the bio. I would tell them to go to my bio link and click. And so from there, I noticed I was able to start driving real live organic traffic as my followers picked up. And from that campaign, staying consistent, you have to post it at least once a day. And I recommend no more than once a day. So I would post once a day, and I would use certain hashtags or hyperlinks. Example, San Diego real estate. If you get on Instagram right now and you type in the hashtag San Diego real estate, you will see I dominate the top post on that feed. I've got probably 5 photos or 4, and it only allows 6. So what I noticed then was like, okay, I'm on to something. So every time I would take a photo, I would geotag my location, meaning your geographical location of where you are. So like say I was taking photos downtown on San Diego waterfront. I then would find that geotag, click on it, and see which one had the most activity or the photo, or activity with photos or videos. And then that's where I would embed my photo. Now, of course, I had to also hire someone to help me with picking up my followers organically. So I had a close friend who owns a company called the We Got You Group. And he came out and we consulted, and he says, look, I'll drive the traffic organically. And as you post, what that does is that it gets your likes up. So that's influence, engagement. So when people look at a photo and see that you have 200 plus or 150 plus likes, more people will be attracted to that photo, especially once you start posting them on the hyperlinks. So each time someone makes a post, let's just say of the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, if you're an agent and you're dominating that post, it's not going to happen immediately. But what I started seeing is I started getting phone calls from people, or people would start messaging me, asking me about where's this property located? Can you share more information? Or, hey, how much is the property? Or, hey, you know, cool post. And then that would give me the opportunity to engage with them. So I just started looking at it as, hey, you got leads all around you. So that's one step that I took with using Instagram.
Now, talk about the bio a little. Did you dive into the bio? Kind of the geotagging thing is something that I think is uniquely interesting. Also, tagging people in it. Since I spoke with you last, I have been messing around with it. I'm actually doing one right now.
Right now?
Yeah. And it's people, you have no clue who they are. They start liking your photos, and when you do the tags, they start following right away. I've actually noticed that a lot of people that are starting to follow me, they will have like 6,000 or 8,000 people following them, but like 200 or 300 people that they follow, and I'm like, why did they pick to follow me? But that's the cool part. If you're doing it consistently and you're putting stuff that's interesting out there, they'll follow you back.
Yep, they sure will. They'll follow you back, and you know, as you just stated with the geotag, is that, you know, when you get consistent with dominating a specific tag, let's just say you're an agent, and I did this for myself. I sold a property in a community that's basically a luxury community, and there's a lake nearby. So a lot of people go to the lake, and it's called Lake Miramar. So I found the geotag for Lake Miramar, and I started posting the 15-second videos of my marketing of this property. And what happened is I started dominating the top post feed. So I'll go in and make a post at least every other day for that actual bio link, a minimum twice a week. And what happens is I'll pick up maybe 7 or 8 people off of those posts each time I post. Those people live around the neighborhood and the community. So then what it does is it allows me to start messaging them. If I engage with them, I can message them. With Instagram now, you can message people just like you can with Facebook or you can with Twitter. Before, you weren't able to. It was just posting photos. So I started dominating hyperlinks to get my name and my face out there. And what's happening now, and I'm having people comment on Instagram and, hey, I'm seeing you everywhere. And that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want them to start saying, hey, I'm seeing you everywhere. So that lets me know, keep doing what you're doing, because it's just the tip of the iceberg right now.
Okay, so given the fact that I am literally on Instagram as we speak, because I wanted to be able to talk back, Matt, you have that smug look on your face, like I can't believe he's on that frickin' thing.
No, I know you because I was thinking as Rod was talking, like, maybe I should pull up Instagram and try. I'm like, nope, Greg's already on it.
Yeah.
Greg already has a phone in his hand, and he's beating me to it. I might as well not even bother.
He's on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on here. How do I message? I'm interested.
Okay. So when you message, what happens is that you have to look up that person's name. So like in the top part of your post where you can search, you can
Okay, so I
search
just
if
pick someone. Let's just say I
can,
pick someone random, right?
yeah,
Oh,
you can
is
pick
that the
me.
message thing?
Yeah, you can pick
Oh,
them
no
and then
post yet.
so
Oh.
when you go search and you select the person that you
Mm-hmm.
want to engage with, when you
Mm-hmm.
select their page, then it'll give you an option where you can actually message them or share a photo.
Huh. Playing around right now with it. Prepared to be messaged, my friend.
Okay. Did you send it?
No, not yet. I still got to look
Okay.
for you. All right, man. Let's keep going on this thing because this is incredibly interesting, and I do not want anybody to miss this.
Okay.
And the nice thing about messaging is you can send them photos, you can send them a 15-second video. So if you have someone, like for example, or that all the people that I started getting to follow me that are around that geotag, those people 9 times out of 10 live around the area. They own a home. So then when you have a select listing that comes up, if you have an open house, you can actually message those people directly and say
Yeah,
whatever
that's
it is you want
huge.
to say to them.
Yeah, incredible.
So you have to think when I said when I bring this up, one of the things I started thinking about is, as an agent, you have to think of yourselves like an artist, just like, you know, a singer or anybody else with social media, that is. You want to build up a fan base. You want people to start liking and following you because of the content that you're posting. Just like if an artist that sings, you get the Kardashians and these other people that follow them around, they follow them around because of their content or their product or their services. So you want to think about when you're doing these posts, are you slowly doing, each time you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 likes, you are being your fan base, because those are people when you release your services or your product that you can go directly to,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
they've
and I
already
like what you
shown
said
interest
about
in
the
you.
lifestyle. It's the lifestyle pictures. It's the same thing
Correct.
that Jerry Pincus does out in South Carolina with the Myrtle Beach area.
Yes.
Constantly posting pictures of the beach and
Yep.
all kinds of like pictures with a meme or a phrase all about the beach lifestyle. So it's not about the
Exactly.
listings necessarily, and that's not how he built his following. It's all built
Correct.
on the lifestyle photos that go up, and Instagram is just another forum for that type. So you have to put out content that people are interested in, that they actually want to share, as
Exactly.
opposed to just your listings, your marketing, your content. It has to be about
Exactly.
them. I think that's where a lot of agents probably fall down on
Yeah.
social media, is posting more from their perspective and the stuff that they want to push out rather than thinking about
Exactly.
what the other person wants to receive.
Well,
Exactly.
it's the 80-20 rule, like anything else. 80% fun, 20% business.
Exactly.
No, because so they exactly like Rod, like you're saying, tell the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're storytelling, and I think, you know, as you just stated, you know, if you think about it from the perspective of what would I like to see, you know, or how would I
Yeah.
like to be treated, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just, that's all I do. I think about, okay, what attracts people. Another way you know if people are really engaging with your content, are they liking it? Are they commenting on it? If they're not, that's your telltale story that you're not posting the right stuff. And I stay away
Hmm.
from the whole sales approach. I don't really talk about, you know, hey, shop for homes, or I just kind of make comments about lifestyle. I'll say, hey, here's a condo. I won't even say here's a condo. I'll show a lifestyle image, and it might be of a view from a condo, and to talk about that sunset or whatever it may be, and then direct them to say, hey, if you're prepared to live the San Diego life or the downtown urban lifestyle, go here.
Mm-hmm. That's
All right,
awesome
so
stuff.
let's talk about the links,
Hmm.
because so when you post something on Instagram, can't. It's unlike Facebook. You cannot put a link outside of Instagram directly from the post. So
Correct.
you're saying you had to change the post. You get one link in your bio profile, and
Hmm.
you had to instruct people in the post that if they wanted more information about a property, that you had to go just click on the link in my profile, but then you had
That's
to go
right.
manually update the link in your profile.
Yes. So what happens is, before you do a post and you know you're going to drive them to the link, go ahead and on Instagram, there's a, right under your profile, there's a bar that says edit. So click on edit, and then scroll down to the very bottom, and you'll see there it says bio link, or where you can put your website. It says bio, and you can put any hyperlink or any link in there to take anyone wherever you want them to go. Drop it in there, save, then go post your photo, and tell them at the end of whatever the message is, go to my bio link to see more or to learn more, whatever it may be. So that's what I do, and that's free. And what happens, I'll share a little story with you really quick. I did a video from a property that I aired on Fox and on SD Luxury Listings, which is a reality TV series that I'm in. And we had success selling the property really quickly and for top dollar. So I took about 41 seconds of a helicopter scene because we tour over the property via helicopter, and I wanted to see how many people would actually engage, would there be interest. So I put a budget behind it first on Facebook, and I spent about it was 58 bucks and some change to reach 6,000 people. Out of 6,000 people, 4,300 exactly, 4,300 people watched the video. Okay, wow. That's over 50%, and it's only for 41 seconds. 41 seconds, and what I did is directed them to my YouTube page so they can finish watching the remainder 5 minutes of the video. Because see, when they see a video on YouTube, sometimes they see it's 5 minutes, they're like, I don't want to watch it. But when they see a 41-second clip and it's engaging, it makes them want more. Now, all I need them to do is to hit like on YouTube, and it raises the likes up. It raised the views up. So what I did then is said, okay, well, I don't want to keep spending money to do this. Let me see if I can convert more from Instagram and Twitter. So what I did was, if you go to my Instagram page right now, you will see the link to that video. So I started making posts and then directing traffic to go to that link. Well, when I ran the Facebook ad, it was at 272. After 4,300 people viewed it at 58 bucks, about 250 went to it and watched it. So it raised it to 472. But when I started doing the organic traffic from Twitter and Instagram, that video is now at 2,400, and I haven't spent a dime. And that was in a matter of 4.5 weeks that I actually was able to drive over 1,300 more people to that video just organically from telling them to go to those bio links in both my Twitter and my Instagram page.
Now, did you go back into the YouTube analytics to see where the traffic to that video is coming from? If it got picked up and started being served as a recommended video on linked to other videos on YouTube?
I didn't. Well, the video that you're talking about, the YouTube video that I actually posted.
Yeah, the one that jumped like 2,400 views.
Yes, I didn't go back and check that. No, I haven't.
Okay, because I'm wondering if that's part of what happened, because it starts picking up organic traffic. YouTube sometimes senses that, and then it starts to, like, once your views pick up on a video, it'll start to serve up that video linked to other ones, and then you'll get, like, the traffic kind of builds on itself. So.
No, I never went back and tracked. What I did is every time I would direct traffic to the link, the one way I knew people were going actually over and clicking through is I would keep going in and checking each time I would make a post to see how much that number would raise. Now, I don't know if that was coming from Google Analytics, but from my perspective, when we were making that post and seeing that it's at 272, and then I would make the post and pick up 200 likes, then I would go check and see how many people out of that 200 likes actually went over and clicked my link. And I would see sometimes 30, 40 people would click that link and go watch the video.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then you're able to do the same thing when you're posting property links or properties.
Yes.
Any post related to a property, you'll go, before you post it, you go into your bio,
Correct.
change it to like a property landing page on your site, which I'm assuming has like a lead capture. So is that lead capture turned on so that once they go to one page, it encourages them to sign up, or do they have to look at a couple more properties before it triggers your email sign up?
No, for me, they can just look at one page. You can set it in my system. So if they look at one page, if they want to look at a photo, it will engage them to actually register on the site. And that's only when we're doing marketing to get people to go search for homes. But I really don't do a lot where I try to get them to go register anymore. I mean, I used to drive leads all day and get 400 or 500 leads a month, people registering. And the issue I found there is that there was no personal connection. They didn't want to talk to me, you know. When I'm doing it this way, people are asking me questions. They will engage with me. Pretty much anyone you message after you connect with them on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you got a 95% response.
Interesting.
I just
got someone yourself. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I just got a guy, 2 people to friend me on Instagram from the photo I just posted we were talking about.
Now go message them. Go message them right now and say, "Hey man, thanks for the like. How are you?" And watch how quickly they respond.
All right. The challenge is accepted. I just got to figure out how to get back to that. Okay, there it is.
Well, while he's doing that, Rod, is there anything you want to say about Instagram before we move on to Twitter?
No, what I would say about Instagram, I think it's for someone who enjoys taking photos or many videos, telling stories. it's a huge tool, and right now it hasn't even scratched the surface. I think once people start seeing the benefits of how much business you can really do through social media, it's going to create a huge shift. So if you start now and just make one post a day, stay consistent, one post a day. If you need help with posting your ads or content, go look at my page for ideas. I'll give you another gentleman's name. His name is I think is it Matt Carroll or was it Steve Carroll, Greg? The guy out of Miami. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's
Matt.
Yeah, Matt Carroll. He's another great example who really leverages Instagram using high quality videos and photos. But I would just say one post a day, stay consistent with it. If you want to drive traffic, use your bio link, and just be personable. Share your life stories with people, and be creative, and that's it.
Now, would you recommend taking the time? So I posted the photo, right, of me hanging with my boys, my buddy last night drinking beer.
Yeah.
Well, drinking beer is like we really went out. It was 2 beers. So all the people that are liking it, should people send messages to them as well, like, hey, thanks for liking the photo, how's life, kind of a thing?
Yes, exactly. Those are, that's what I do. So let's say if I get 200 people, sometimes I don't go through all 200 and like. I try to find ones and look at their profiles and see what they do and see if there's any correlation there, because you just don't want to start messaging everybody. Well, you can message them. One thing I do on Twitter and Instagram is when I get a like, I have an image, it's a meme of me that says thanks for the follow. And what I do is I message everyone and I thank them for the follow, and has a nice professional photo of me, and they all respond. They'll laugh and say, cool photo. Hey, what do you do? Hey, where are you located? But when I want to actually engage with someone, I look at their profile to see if there's anything in interest. Since I have a radio show, I try to find people that I can actually have come on my radio show, and I can help them, either market them, start bringing awareness to their brand, et cetera, get exposure. So I just try to find people that I can engage with. But once I do, I will actually go and message them, and then whatever question I have or however I want to connect with them, I type it in, message them, and they always respond.
Yeah.
They always respond.
I just figured out where the damn message button was. That's awesome.
You got it?
Man, we are supposed to be technically, above the normal crowd. I'm sitting there going, so where's the button? I don't see a message button.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't claim to be. That's why we interview people that understand social media better than we do.
You're technically challenged.
Yes. Sir, is the phone plugged in? Is the phone on, sir?
All right, so there's one last thing I was curious about before we get into Twitter. So when you talked about posting little 15-second videos of how you're marketing that luxury property around that lake, can you give us just a quick 3 or 4 ideas of what kind of videos, like what were you doing in those videos, and what was the marketing that you were showing?
Yeah, so one video, I took a video of that property I told you about that we shot and we aired on Fox, and I basically, with Instagram, you can chop videos up. It's basically an editor, so you can take a video that's in your camera roll that's saved. That video could be 2 minutes. Well, obviously, you only get 15 seconds. So what I did is I took 15 seconds of a helicopter scene of me flying over the property and the area and talking about the community and the amenities and what the lifestyle is like. That's what I posted on the hyperlink around the lake. Why? Because the lake was in the video. So the correlation will automatically click. They'll say, okay, I see why he posted this. Oh, he's an agent that flies over homes and helicopters. Let me go check this guy's website out. Let me go click on his profile and learn more about it. Keep in mind, these are all people that live in the community. They may not be ready to sell right now, but I take the best. I won't say the best. What I take is the image, the 15 seconds that I want them to see that tells the story that I want them to hear. That's what I select out of that video. So for me, it was a helicopter scene. Another thing I did is I talked about home staging. So in the first part of the video, I took the first 15 seconds where when I'm engaging with the host and he's walking in the home and we start talking about the property, they see how well staged the property is. So I'll talk about how home staging will actually increase not only the percentage of the home selling higher, but it'll cut down the time that a home is on the market. So I'll put that in the post for 15 seconds and guide them back to the link and say, go watch the remaining part of the video, or actually go to my website, which we have free staging in one of our VIP signature services on select properties. So then it takes them to my website to learn more about our home staging.
Interesting. Very cool.
I'm in an active debate right now on Instagram with people just based upon what you're talking about. This is freaking awesome.
What's the debate?
So it's about where the beer is. Like what brewery is that?
Well, see, okay, so So here you go. You just shown like you drink craft beers.
Me? Yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's
Okay,
what this place
okay.
is. All craft
So
beers.
so
Not
craft
crap.
beers is a
Craft.
hot topic. If you're someone, I don't drink beer, so I can't. I'm not gonna engage in something I have no interest in. And I don't have anything against beer. I drink cider though. Okay.
All right.
But there are some beers I'll drink. But let me just get back to the point. They're telling you what they like. That's their interest. Show them more beer photos. Not saying you got to go out and be a drunk, but when you are out, take engaging photos of you and your buddies having a beer and talk about whatever beer it is, IPA, red, how the quality of it. I'm gonna give you an example. You guys know Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Of course.
Guy who built the wine library. How did he build the wine library? He sat in front of a camera and talked about how does a wine smell?
Mm-hmm.
How does this beer taste? How many people you know that are corporate CEOs, whatever, that'll go somewhere for a happy hour and have a beer and sit there? Well, if they see you at select places and you're talking about the quality of these beers at these locations, you're going to engage those people. Those people are going to follow you. Then they're going to find out, oh, he's a real estate agent. Oh, he's not only a real estate agent, he's a real estate agent that has influence. He's successful. He knows the market. Right away, you start building an audience. So I would say for you, I would post more stuff about beers when you are out, if that's what you like and you enjoy doing it regularly, and let people see, hey, I have something in common with this guy. This guy shares similar interests because a lot of dudes and gals drink craft beers. It's a trending thing right now.
Dude, there are so many people in there drinking beer, and literally 50 to 60% of them were girls. I was blown away. I'm like,
yeah,
what's going on here?
Well, it's trending now. I mean, it's craft beers are a big thing. You're seeing breweries pop up all over the place. I would even go around, if you are a beer person, and take photos of you with the owners or the bartenders in those locations. Why? Because a lot of people come in those places and have beers, and it's like, oh, he knows the same guy I know. Oh, he knows the same girl I know. It's a connection, and automatically they're gonna like you and follow you. Not saying that you're gonna sell them a home, but what if they know someone that does? They're like, hey, I know this cool guy Greg. He's always, posting craft beer photos, yada yada. Give him a call.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, I just responded back to one of them like, she's like, where is it located? In Danville? Is it the Danville Brewery? I'm like, no, it's in Walnut Creek, and it's called Beer Calf and Bottle Shop.
I always say, once you get them asking questions, you got them.
Hook, line, and sinker.
You got it.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, so let's talk about Twitter. What do you got for that? Okay,
Twitter is it's more of a moving piece. It's like a wheel. I mean, it's a lot of information. If you want to know what's going on in the world, go to Twitter, right? It's like this big wall that moves, that constantly updates with fresh content, new information. So what I use Twitter for is to push out the content, because what happens is people are either gonna, when you see the heart, they're gonna like it like they like on Facebook, or they're gonna retweet it. Now, retweet is like viral the way I look at it. You want to get as many retweets as you can, because that means that if it's retweeted 10 times, those 10 people just shared it, which means their friends will be able to see it if they're connected to those people. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like having this big virtual collage. Once one person retweets your content, all of their people in their network is going to see that retweet. Does that make sense? So if they got 15,000 followers, all 15,000 followers are going to see that retweet.
So it's basically the same as Facebook. As soon as a friend, one of your friends likes it, all of their folks see it, right?
Correct.
Or they made a comment on it or whatever. Same exact concept. Am I hearing that right?
Same exact concept, but the benefit is that with Facebook, it's like a museum. So the only way people are going to see your posts is if they like you. But with Twitter, it constantly moves. So even when someone shares it with their circle, it doesn't just stop there. Everyone else on Twitter, especially if you're using hashtags that are trending, that's what I forgot to mention. Before you post anything, go look and see what the trending hashtags are, and then ask yourself, can I formulate a story that will incorporate this hashtag? Why? It's just where you're grabbing juice and you're riding momentum off of that trending hashtag, and that post is going to show up where that hashtag is trending. That means the whole world will see that post.
So right now, trending hashtags right now are hashtag single, hashtag DMV, hashtag Google your I don't know what that means. Google your friend. Google your first name. Okay, that's awkward.
Correct.
Barber. Okay, I see what you're saying. So
let's say DMV. Let's say on a rainy day like today, and I say, I'm like, gotta go get the car. You just posted a hot photo of your Benz the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, headed to the DMV. Sucks to be in this weather, hanging out in the rain, but gotta get the license renewed before I go out and show some more phenomenal properties. Post it, right? You just use the hashtag DMV and put a photo of your car.
You have no idea I'm going to do that right now. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
I
You
feel
know,
so bad for my
so it's just
followers.
simply just kind of being creative in that manner. But kind of getting back to the whole thing behind Twitter. Twitter is the moving spoke, so it shoots everything out. It can post to Facebook. I believe I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Instagram. And also, I would tell people don't post out of Facebook or Instagram to Twitter. Post from Twitter to those platforms because that's the moving wheel. Okay, that's like the spider web that spins and shoots everything out. So if you're gonna post to those other Instagram or Facebook, do it through Twitter.
So break that down for the dyslexic people such as myself. So I don't, dude, I'm a Twitter dumbass. I have
It's
no
all right.
idea what to do with
I was
the
too
Twitter.
before I learned all this stuff, and I'm still learning. So I'll go back. So let's just say, for instance, you have a post that you are going to post on Instagram.
Okay.
Well, you can post it in Instagram, that's okay, but what I would say is if you're going to post it in multiple platforms, shoot it out through Twitter.
So so I'd go to first. I gotta get Twitter on my phone. So that's stage one.
Yes,
Um, then I go get the photo from my photos.
yes,
Hashtag tell the story. Hashtag DMV.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Post. Boom. It
yes.
goes.
And make sure it's connected to Facebook, and if it is, it will post to Facebook. So that way you don't have to do double posts, but when you post it through Twitter, keep in mind it is a moving wheel. Everyone sees it. If you post something on Facebook, it's like a museum. Only your friends and people that are connected to you are going to see that post.
Oh, interesting thing about Twitter. Did you guys hear the news today that the CEO is seriously considered about upping the number of characters from 140
Characters.
to like 1,500 or something?
I saw
Oh,
that briefly. Yeah, I
Because
saw that.
he circumvented it by taking, because everyone what they're doing, I didn't know you could do this. They're taking screenshots of long texts and posting those in the tweet. That gets them
Yes.
around the 140 characters.
Yes. I think it's good if they do because it's not going to hurt. I mean, I think it's
No.
difficult when you only have that few amount of characters. I think that's why a lot of people deter away from using Twitter because they can't type as much. But at the same time, what's great about Twitter, it's great for posting links because when you get those retweets, people are going to go straight to those links within Twitter. Instagram, you can't post a link unless you put it in your bio link. I mean, you can put it in there, but how many people are going to go copy and paste it and go through that process? Not many. But with
Right.
Twitter, whenever you post and you have a link in there, it's highlighted, so all they have to do is touch it, and they go right to where you are directing them. So I use it highly for when I post links to direct people back to the website to search for homes or to watch a particular video. Or sometimes I just direct people back to my Instagram post from Twitter, so they don't have to get out of their Instagram and go in it. They can just touch it, and it takes them. It's all about convenience and ease of use.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's what's great about Twitter is it makes it very simple and very easy to direct people to multiple platforms.
Guys, this is literally the second time I've heard this, and I'm still having a hard time comprehending this. It's actually becoming a lot more clear. No, no joke. The second time I heard it from you, it really is a lot more clear.
It
So
was the same way for me.
the mud is starting to dissipate, and the clear water is starting to come in.
He's at clear water.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's good
All
stuff.
right. So any last words on using Twitter?
Well, same as Instagram posts once to wait. Actually, sorry, not once a day. You want to try to stay as active as you can on Twitter. So I usually try to get 3, 4, maybe sometimes 5 posts in a day, but they're not all about real estate.
Mhm.
Sometimes I try to find trending topics that people are talking about or that I have interest in related to real estate or related to politics or related to basketball, related to all my personal interests. Find things that you are interested in and focus on engaging with people that are sharing that content on Twitter by retweeting their stuff because when you retweet people's posts, they will come back into your page and retweet your content. So it's kind of like you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Is it
It just works that way, and and if you go in and start retweeting on posts that you like that are engaging, they'll come back to your page, they'll follow you, and they'll retweet. Not every time, but a large percentage of the time they will, and that's how you can also start building followers.
is it an unspoken ethics of Twitter? Like, if you came and retweeted me, I would go back to you and say, okay, Rod hooked me up. I got to help him out. Oh, I like this post. Retweet. Or is it just kind of like if you like it, if you feel like it's not like one of those unspoken things?
It's if you like it, you like it. It's not something that's automatically expected. If that's what you're saying.
Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
okay. I just want to see if it was an etiquette thing.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, but what I will say is that it seems that it's very common though. It's like whenever I retweet someone else's post, they'll come and retweet mine. And what happens is it's like this. When you like someone's photo on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
they automatically typically will come back to your page and like your photo.
I've noticed that. I'm getting
Okay?
people that like I go
It's
like a photo. They come back and
yes.
they like me and they start following me.
It's like the gift of giving. You want to know why? Let's just get down to it. As human beings, at the end of the day, we want to know who's thinking about us, who's engaging with us, who's
Mm-hmm.
recognizing me, who's paying attention to me,
Mm-hmm.
who's listening to me, who likes me, who wants to be my friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that everybody thinks like, but naturally we want to know, hey, did someone just like that post I posted? Is someone looking at it or watching it? So when you go and like someone else's post, it's like giving. They automatically feel the need to come back to your post or your page. I see people liking photos that I posted on Instagram 2 years ago.
No way.
Yeah, you can go to my page right now and look.
So you're telling me like they'll like a photo of you, and then they'll just keep going and going and going and going,
That's right.
and they're like, oh.
They'll scroll through, and I've seen them liking photos of my family, and that's why I started doing it because I wanted people to see I'm a real person,
Mm-hmm.
and that I have a family. And what happens is that they get on the page and say he's an interesting guy. Then they say, well, shit, he's got 10,000 followers, or he's got 3,000, 4,000 followers. Let me go through his page. So what I started doing was just kind of creating a collage of kind of where people can kind of see my entire life and what I do and what my interests are. That's why I say focus on the things that you like automatically because it's easy. Focus on if you're a surfer, post photos about surf or the ocean.
This is a fantastic way to stalk people. You know,
Oh
if
yeah,
With their
oh yeah,
permission. Yeah. Yeah, if
yeah,
they're posting stuff, yeah.
yeah. And
no, but
most people, if you go engage with them to follow them or like them, they will typically like on Twitter. If you go follow someone, 9 times out of 10, they will follow you back.
hmm.
And one thing I want to mention that I did mention, sorry, about Instagram, is that on every time you post a post on a hyperlink, you want to go like every photo in that page on that hyperlink. I don't care if there's 200 photos in there. I've spent time liking 500 photos in one hyperlink, and it took me 2.5 hours. But guess what? I picked up 75 followers.
Holy crap! Sitting there watching a movie
That's it. Now, you don't have to do it all at once. I would just break it up. I'd do 50 and stop and come back later and do another 50 or 75. But the point is, it'd take me a couple hours to get through that. You're going to do a couple hours either doing something, BSing around, or whatever else. When you got that downtime and you're not actually working in your business or servicing a client, get on there, post a photo, take your time when you post it on a hyperlink, and go through and like every photo on that hyperlink.
Very interesting. It's a whole new world, Matt.
Yeah. And so for Twitter, the last thing I would say is just make sure you stay active on Twitter. Twitter is really great for content, market. If you're an agent, market report information, market data, information about the local market. If there's a certain niche that you're in, a lot of people like to see content, kind of like what you see on LinkedIn. So it's a great platform to post a lot of rich content, provide hyperlinks for people to go to. You can direct them to any web page or splash page. It's phenomenal for that purpose specifically because, as I stated, it's a moving wheel. So hundreds of thousands of people get to see it. Now, of course, as you pick up more followers, that momentum is what allows you to pick up even more followers because as those people stay engaged with you on Twitter, they will retweet your content out. Their followers, if you're following me, will see that and then begin to engage with you and either like you and they'll either like the post or they'll retweet it and then they will come and follow you. And sometimes they'll start engaging with you and sending you messages, asking you questions about the area, about the property, or about the market. And that's just basically my experience that I can share and say, if you follow those steps, be patient, stay consistent, you'll start seeing results.
Very cool.
Very cool. I just downloaded Twitter.
Tweet away.
Tweet.
All right.
Tweet
Well,
away.
you're going to continue the conversation over on Blab about
Yes.
40 minutes from now. So let's wrap up this episode. Give you guys time to shift over to that, and anybody that would like to. First of all, Rod, how do people connect with you, especially if they want to continue over and maybe watch the Blab? So they need to connect with you on Twitter specifically.
Yeah. So my Twitter handle is Rod Watson23, and it's the same for Instagram. So Rod Watson23, you can connect with me there, and let's get to know one another. And if you have any questions about what we just discussed, you can message me anytime, and I'll be happy to help out.
Very cool. And then, Greg, if anybody wants to follow you on Twitter, You have one because you blab all the time. So, despite the fact that you're just not downloading the Twitter app on your phone, you are technically active on Twitter. So it's at McDaniel Systems.
Yeah, at McDaniel Systems. I have 425 followers, and I'm following 304. I'm assuming it's incredibly low numbers, but I'm pretty damn proud of them. So help me get those up, guys.
Actually, they're not that low. I mean, I was at 272 before I got up to 4,000. So you're at 400. You know, you can really, monetize that if you stay consistent with it. Especially with someone like your stature, you knowing as many people as you know. All of the people on your Instagram, Facebook platforms, I would start getting them to come over and like you and follow you on Twitter. Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Let's use me as a case study on our blab. We'll do real time, and we'll start showing people how to do it so they can use it as a resource when they rewatch our blab.
Sounds great.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, with that, let's wrap this one up. Again, just want to thank Viral Marketing for cutting a check to make Hangouts and podcasts like these happen. You can check them out at getviral.com for all of your basically to build repeat and referral business from your database using online video and email marketing. So, and then if you want to generate buyer leads online, a sustainable number that you can work consistently over time to close actual real deals with actual buyers, check out Equity. And take the McDaniel Challenge. If you're curious about that and whether it's available in your market, you can talk to Greg. And if it is, he'll get you hooked up with all the details you need on that. So, Greg, what is the McDaniel Challenge one last time today?
The McDaniel Challenge is when I get to spend an evening alone having very nice conversations. No, yeah, it's a night. It's an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with me, free coaching. Yes, it is 100% free. There's nothing that we want you guys to pay for ever. This is out there because I want to give back to the community and all the agents. I want to make you guys the best you can possibly be and open your eyes to everything that is out there. Probably a lot of what we just talked about with Rod. And if I can't answer it, I'm going to direct you to Rod. But call me. Set up a time. It's call me on my cell, 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978. Monday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lock in your time, guys. I want to talk to you, and I truly mean that. And honestly, we joke around about not letting me spend a night alone. Seriously, I want to be solidly booked, and you guys are doing a great job of making that happen. Just don't leave me hanging.
Hashtag don't let Greg spend a night alone.
Yes.
When that starts trending.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh. All right, guys. With that, we'll call this one a day. Make sure to follow those guys on Twitter. Hop on to the Blab where they're going to continue talking about Twitter strategy. And then we will be back here on Friday with probably a Q&A episode dealing with some other high-tech, high-touch prospecting and marketing topics. So I don't believe we have a guest lined up for Friday, so it's going to be me and Greg coming at you with more sales and marketing training content. So with that, gentlemen, thank you so much. Rod, a pleasure. It was awesome having you on the show. Thank you very much.
Can I make one last point on Instagram, if that's
sure
okay?
Can. Yeah.
One last thing for all you viewers. Stop with the multiple hashtags.
Yes.
Okay. Stop with the multiple hashtags because I used to do it, so I'm not placing any judgment. I was terrible at it until my social media guy said, look, you got to stop. Select trending hashtags. Okay. Select trending hashtags and let those be in your posts because that's what's going to get you like that SEO juice for people when they click through. They'll start seeing your hashtag on those posts that it's connected to. So, for example, San Diego real estate. I don't type in La Jolla blank real estate. Just San Diego real estate. If you're posting about real estate or San Francisco real estate, you want to start dominating one area, not trying to get on multiple platforms. Dominate one area. Be consistent with dominating one area or areas. And go from there.
That's awesome. Good advice.
Yeah, that is good advice. Focus.
Yeah, something I lack.
Yes, exactly.
Hey,
I fight for it every day. Just trying to say, you need like a how would I explain what you need, Greg?
Like blinders on a horse, just like.
I was thinking more like bumpers in a bowling alley.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you need.
All right, enough bagging on Greg. Let's move forward, Matt.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We will see you. We'll see you guys on Friday on the next episode of Real Estate Uncensored. Thanks again, guys.
See you guys.
Peace.